Okay, let's be real. I know you weren't thinking, hey, why don't I get into another toxic relationship? That'll be great. No. And you get into a new relationship thinking it'll be different, and the same toxic patterns keep showing up, which can be extremely frustrating and lead to a lot of self doubt and judgment. If you're a narcissist, you're thinking, oh, it's everyone else's fault, I'm fine. But that is not you. You're here because you're frustrated and you want to break out of these patterns and finally have a healthy relationship. So let's get right into these hidden, often unconscious mindsets and habits we have around relationships that have kept us stuck in the past and how to finally get out of them for good. Now, the first hidden habit, it's kind of obvious, but sometimes we avoid it, which is not doing the work or not consistently doing the work. So you might not be invested in self-improvement on a regular basis, but that is going to eventually get you in some trouble. Think about it like this. Would you rather go to the gym when you're just completely disgusted with yourself, or finally adopt a healthy lifestyle when you've been hospitalized for something? Or would you rather have a consistent lifestyle that contributes to your health? It's the same thing. If you're taking care of your mental and emotional health on a regular basis, the likelihood of you repeating toxic patterns goes way down. So invest in yourself, even if it's just watching videos like this on a regular basis. We just want to stay out of crisis mode. And hey, sometimes we need a crisis to help us really wake up and get where we need to go. That's certainly been true for me. But then after that, like Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, why wait for the crisis? And you might be someone that takes care of your plants and your kids and other people. So invest that same energy in your mental and emotional health. And the second hidden habit is being a fixer when people don't ask, or an empath without boundaries. And when you do this, you have thoughts like, oh, if I love them enough, they'll change, or I'll be the one to fix them. And maybe because as a child, you learned that your worth came from helping other people and even sacrificing your life and maybe even completely abandoning yourself to help other people or put people first. So your brain is incorrectly associating that with love. And narcissists and toxic people and unhealed people love to prey on and use people that are unhealed fixers or empaths without boundaries. Because this dynamic is created where you're helping and you're giving so much energy, and then you're starting to feel like a doormat or a victim because you're being so nice and doing so much for them. And in turn, they're giving you breadcrumbs. And then you fight, and then when you think about leaving, they'll make a grand gesture, and then the cycle starts all over again. So the taker keeps on taking and pushing boundaries, while the fixer attempts to solve things with more love until you're completely exhausted and drained. And this could end with you getting physically sick. So we fix this one by loving ourselves and knowing that we deserve the love that we give. And in every relationship, there should be a synergy, an equal give and take. And all you have to do is ask yourself, is this giving me life or completely draining me? If you're someone with avoidant tendencies that gets overwhelmed very easily, that's something to take into consideration. It's a good thing to discern and navigate that with a mental health professional so you can really know, are they asking too much, or is my nervous system overwhelmed because I can't handle this much closeness and I don't like conflict resolution? And if you have an anxious attachment style, you have to decide, are they pushing me away? Are they really asking too much? Or am I just so anxious that they're going to leave me and my abandonment issues are constantly flared up that I feel like I have to overgive when in actuality I don't? Third hidden habit, this one is so sneaky and so important to understand. You confuse chaos with passion. So passion and that intensity around lust can be addictive, and we can confuse it with love. In fact, if you have unhealed trauma, you will confuse it with love because that's way safer for you than actual intimacy. The drama of the highs and lows, the breakups, the makeup sex. This chaos is not true love. It's not your twin flame. It's trauma bonding. You're completely frying your nervous system by constantly staying in a high cortisol state, which again can lead to physical, mental, or emotional illness. And this happens because some of us grew up in chaos, and our brains literally got trained to associate chaos with love, or chaos is normal. Even so much that if things are calm and peaceful, it's dysregulating. It doesn't feel safe. When's the shoe gonna drop? So with this one, we have to retrain our brain and nervous system for safety and peace, and begin to associate safety and peace with love and true intimacy. And start getting curious as to why intimacy doesn't feel safe. If you do enough exploration around it, this is often called shadow work. If you do enough exploration around it, you will find the answer. And just like all shadow work, once you bring those things into the light, they can't control you anymore. So it's very liberating. And a lot of people with addictive personalities that are recovering addicts, even if they get clean and sober, they end up in relationships like this to keep that addiction loop going. Because all addiction really is one, cutting us off from the present moment, two, inhibiting our ability to experience true love and intimacy, and three, live a calm, peaceful existence continuously. So asking yourself, what does a safe, healthy relationship look like? What if I were able to talk to someone when a conflict occurred instead of avoiding it or causing complete chaos? What would it be like for someone to actually fully see me? And as always, deep breathing is always good, especially when you are talking to your partner and attempting to have healthy conflict resolution for maybe the first time. We want to do things to regulate our nervous system. Often when I talk to couples, I can see that they're not breathing well at all. So I know it seems like such an insignificant thing, but breathing deeply, staying rooted in the present moment really helps so much. Number 4, ignoring your intuition. Everyone has intuition and it is always speaking to us. That gut feeling, that knowingness, we all have it. And we can choose to ignore it. And you're not alone. I am a very intuitive person. I'm very good at that with work, but in my relationships for the longest time, I would ignore my intuition. But once you really listen to and trust your intuition, even if it doesn't make sense, if you just allow it to guide you, you will save yourself so much grief. And it will also lead you to the highest and best thing for yourself. It really always does. And it's also so liberating and gratifying to know that you have this internal GPS with you at all times. So for this one, I want you to get in touch with your intuition. Some of us have it centered in our gut. Some of us just have a knowingness. Whatever it is for you, I promise you have it. And I just want you to listen to it. Be curious, ask it things. Be okay with it not making sense. A big part of this is releasing control of what we think is right because of what has happened in the past. Remember, we're not repeating the past. We're creating a new and better future. And this again drops us right into the present moment. All healing happens in the present moment. So when we connect to our intuition, our inner GPS system, which has full bars at all times, not only are we in the complete present moment where all the healing happens, we know exactly the right thing to do, and it will always regulate your nervous system. Now, if you've been in a toxic relationship, a relationship with a narcissist or a borderline, or you grew up with narcissistic caretakers, they attempt to train you to ignore your intuition because they know that if you're in tune with your intuition, you will reject them. You will know that they are dangerous and not good for you, and you will leave them and they won't have control over you, which is the thing they don't want the most. But your intuition has so much power. Trust it above all brainwashing that you've gotten from your narcissistic parents or a narcissistic relationship in the past. Number 5, we covered this a little bit earlier, but I want to go deeper with it. You're self-sacrificing or overgiving. Because in some cultures and religions, and maybe even depending on what gender you are, you were told that you're supposed to overly sacrifice and overly give. And masculine and feminine dynamics show up in different ways. I do think that the masculine energy in a relationship is to be a provider and protector, and the feminine energy is to be nurturing and fun, but we still have a solid sense of self. Again, it's something that's creating a nice synergy, not depleting one or both people. And I have so many clients that come from different religious backgrounds or just different ideologies that were taught that if they are not self-sacrificing to the degree that they're completely drained, that they won't be loved and they'll be abandoned. And that is simply not true. And I think that's a form of tyranny. If you don't completely sacrifice yourself, then you're abandoned? No. So you really get to get comfortable with getting your needs met, your needs and desires. Sometimes when I'm working with clients with this particular issue, they have a hard time feeling safe just getting their basic needs met, like getting enough sleep, having enough money. And I am telling you, you are entitled to everything that you want, need, and deserve. And I firmly believe that anything that you desire was divinely placed in your heart for you to have. You would not have that desire if it wasn't meant for you. I don't care how big or crazy or impossible it seems, it was meant for you. So you get to put yourself first. You cannot be the best version of yourself if you don't put yourself first. And if you are with a narcissist or any type of toxic person, they won't want you to put yourself first because they want everything to revolve around them and they want to control you. We're flipping that dynamic, and you have to be okay with losing them because you deserve a much healthier and safer and way more loving dynamic. And this is really about truly making that decision for yourself. Decide means to cut off all other possibilities. So decide and declare and commit to yourself that I am only available to others that positively contribute to my life. You deserve that, my love. You want, need, and deserve that. So you get to have that. And the last hidden habit, unconscious mindset that I want to go over, this one is so important and so overlooked, yet so common. And it's the fear of being alone. And again, I've been here too. We are so afraid of being alone that we would rather stay in a toxic relationship. And this happens for 2 reasons. One, we're afraid people are going to judge us. But really the root of this issue is rooted in abandonment trauma. Maybe you had a parent that you always had to walk on eggshells around. Or if you made any kind of mistake, they started yelling or completely ignored you. Or you were always getting punished for something. There was no empathy. There was no what's called in psychology a healthy repair. So what happens is you created feedback loops that, oh my God, this person is going to abandon me. If I do anything wrong, then that means I'm bad and I did something wrong and it's all my fault. So I'm going to tolerate this behavior. And that's the thing. We get in dynamics where we're afraid to be alone, so we stay in a toxic relationship because we literally associate harsh judgment and criticism with love. I know it sounds crazy, you're not consciously doing it. But instead of your caretakers participating in healthy conflict resolution, they just blamed everything on you. So you unconsciously thought, okay, this is what I have to tolerate to be loved and not abandoned. And narcissistic parents and toxic people do this. One of the top ways they try to brainwash you is with the idea of, you won't exist without me. You need me to live. You would be nothing without me. Not true, my love. And the best and really essential way to break out of this cycle is to love yourself. I know that sounds trite, oh, self-love. No, but there is a part in your healing process where you decide to love yourself so fucking much. You literally become the love of your life. And when you do, one, you'll experience a joy that you haven't before. Your nervous system will be so regulated, you might start to even age backwards. Any toxic relationships, people that try to drain your energy vampires, they will all fall away. And you will only attract healthy dynamics. I'm telling you, it is the best era of healing when you just decide to clear out all that energy and be with yourself and learn to truly love yourself and become the love of your life. When you truly do that, all of the most amazing relationships will come into your life, between work, romantically, with family, whatever that looks like. I promise you it will happen. It will all fall into place in the most beautiful way. So do not be afraid to be with yourself. It is the best thing you can ever do. I promise you that. So again, just to recap, always be constantly doing the work. Have boundaries and really understand that it's not your job to completely fix everything all the time. Know that chaos is not passion or intimacy, and normalize peace. Listen to your intuition. Constant self-abandonment is not the vibe and will only deplete you. Being alone and becoming the love of your own life is the best thing you will ever do for yourself. The only true way to have that healthy, loving, amazing relationship that you want. Okay, my love, let me know your biggest takeaway and what you're going to start working on right away. Keep evolving, keep loving yourself, keep pouring into yourself. I love you so much, and I'm so honored to be part of your healing journey, even if it's just like this right now. And if you want more information about working with me one-on-one or any of my 3 courses, I have a link to those things in the description of this video and in my bio. I'll see you in the next video.